So please don't go. What's going on? It is your boy Seeking Truth. Today I'm back with another amazing awesome video for all of you amazing awesome people. Now today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make an amazing thumbnail for all of your videos. And let's just get straight into it. So what you're going to want to do first is you're going to want to click File and click New, or you can press Control N, whichever one suits you best. And once you do that, you're going to want to go ahead. You can name this whatever you want to. We'll just call it Thumbnail Tutorial. And I'm sorry if I'm destroying your guys' ears, but you know, I'm really close to the mic, sort of pumped for this amazing tutorial because I haven't made one in a long time. But yeah, that's just that. Anyway, for your width, you're going to want to set it to 1280, which is 1280, by 720, which is 720. Make sure your settings are the same as mine or close to mine. Just make sure you have color and all that good stuff enabled. Just if you guys have any questions, drop it below and I will help you guys out as fast as I can. But once all your settings are correct, you're going to want to click OK. And you're going to get this really cool looking grid thing. Now what we're going to want to do is open up our Chrome or whatever browser you use and head to unsplash.com. Now Unsplash is a really good website to get amazing royalty-free images and just a bunch of cool images you can get. So really help these guys out, promote them, share them. I'm not sponsored by them. I just use their images and they're giving you free images, right? You don't have to pay for it like some other website, which is really cool. So yeah, if you guys are going to use this website, you guys can, but you can use Google Images or whatever. Just make sure they're royalty-free images. Anyway, pick an image you like if you're using Unsplash. Let's see. Kind of like this ocean one. This one's nice. This beach one's nice, but I think I'm going to go with the guy swimming because I can add some cool effects with that. So now I'm going to click on this and you're going to see this download button up here. So what you're going to want to do with the download button is click it, obviously, and right click on this image and click Save Image As. Now you're going to want to go to your downloads and you can name this whatever you want to. I'm going to name it Guy Swimming Cool Underwater. And if it's a JPEG, it's a JPEG. Don't try to change it to PNG because you'll screw everything up and the image won't work. So leave these settings as is and click the save button. And yeah, so that's been downloaded, 5 megs, which is a lot, but you know, we're gonna compress this to a JPEG or a PNG once we make it. Now you have your Photoshop open. What you're gonna want to do is click this window and you can just simply drag this into your Photoshop. Now let's let that happen, and there you go. Now you have this really cool guy swimming underwater. You're going to want to expand it so it covers up all of the grid because you don't want any empty spaces in your thumbnail. So now that we have this guy swimming here, we can go ahead and start adding cool stuff to our banner. Not banner, I'm used to making banner tutorials, but now we can add cool stuff to our thumbnail. So the first thing I'm going to add is some text. So you can choose whatever font you want. If you guys are looking for good fonts, you can just go ahead and go to defont.com and pick any cool fonts you like. For this tutorial, I already have all the fonts I'd like on my computer, so I installed them beforehand to save your guys' time. But as you can see here, this is Typograph Pro, and I'm going to use this font for today. Now, you could set this to about 100 pt, and then make it how to, and just select that all, make it a lower or higher pt. Just so the PT is what makes it bigger and smaller, just so you guys know. And 150 PT. Now that looks pretty good. I'm gonna make this thinner so it has a really nice contour effect with the water. And now that we have this nice how-to text, we're gonna make the rest of our text. So there's one really cool font that okay, my bad. There's one really cool font that I like that I'm gonna go set up right after this. There you go. Now you're going to want to click again to make a new text layer, and this is going to prompt you and give you another text layer, and then you can go ahead and pick the font you want. Try to make this a really flashy font so your viewers will want to click on it. So I'm going to go ahead and look for the cool font that I had in mind. Let me go and find it. Just give me a few seconds. Here it is. Price Down Black. And now what I'm going to do is go ahead and just put amazing. Oops. Amazing. Or I think I put everything in capital there. Amazing. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. Amazing. Now what I'm going to do is Control T and that's gonna give you this. You can also expand it, which I probably should do, but let's make this a bigger text size. So I'm gonna make this 200, which is pretty nice. And now that you have a bigger font, what you're gonna want to do is Control T it like I did earlier, and then size it down while holding Shift to make sure it contains its aspect ratio. So yeah, holding Shift, and you're gonna drag it along until it matches the other text. So right there, it's about matching. And then I'm gonna press the up arrow 3 times just to position it right under. And there you go. And now what we're gonna want to do is click this check mark up here, and then you'll be out of that cool looking. You'll have this cool looking thing right here. Now we're gonna, right under this how to make amazing, we're gonna put thumbnail. So let me go ahead and grab a nice font. I think I'll use Nexa, which is another nice font you can use. Thumbnails. You can also play around with the fonts to get your favorite look. But yeah, now that we have thumbnails, what we're gonna want to do is size this down. So we can go ahead and press this arrow thing right here and Control T it again. Line it up with the other texts and just drag it down. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this over here because I can't reach over there. Then I'm gonna drag this over here, make sure it's in line with these other two again, and just drag across. And there you go. That's matching. And now you have the base of your thumbnail. So you're gonna want to put this so it's close to the other one. I'm gonna go ahead and Control T it again and resize it a bit so it is in line. And there you go. Push it up again a bit just so it's in line with the thumbnail, and there you go. Now what we're gonna want to do is go ahead and add some really cool gradients and stuff to our what is this, thumbnail? Yeah, ignore that eBay email. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and select everything by holding Shift and clicking across, clicking on this one first without holding Shift, and then holding Shift and clicking on the how to, so it selects all 3 of these layers. Now you're gonna want to do Control T. You're gonna want to go to the edge, and you're gonna want to sort of turn it a bit. So now you have this cool turning, like, nice effect, and you can pull it up a bit if you want to. And now it's tilting, so it kind of prompts them to click on it a bit, because like, whoa, it's so cool. And once you have it where you like it, just click this check mark up here, and now we can go ahead and get into adding some cool stuff to it. So what I'm gonna go ahead and add right now is a new layer. So how you're gonna add a new layer is you're gonna go down here and click this little thing right here, which is like a page flipping. Click that, you're gonna have a new layer. Now you're gonna want to head to your brush tool right here, click it, and you can set the brush size to what I have, which is 421. And then you're gonna want to set your own custom colors. So we're gonna add a really nice cool tealish blue, and we can copy this for later for our gradients. And now that we have that, we're just gonna click OK. And now we're just gonna click this a couple of times to go along, and it really complements this color. It complements the water effect of this thumbnail, and you're gonna want to kind of click it right there. And now that you have this nice little water base thing, you can go ahead and drop the opacity of this down a bit just so it blends in. And you're gonna want to add a new layer, and make this, click on the other one, make it a black solid color, so you can add a fade. Click OK. And now that you have this, you're going to want to go to your paint bucket tool. You're going to want to click here, and whoops, let's go ahead and undo that. You're going to want to click this switch thing first, so the black is the primary color, and you're going to click this right here one time. And now you're going to have this black covering the entire thumbnail. And what you're going to do with this is you're going to go ahead and head to opacity, and you're going to lower this down to about 20 or something like that. Or let's do 35. I think that'll look good. 35, yeah. You can go higher. Let's go, or yeah, higher this way. About 18, 15 might look good. Just keep playing around with this until you have the settings you like. And once you do, click this arrow thing to exit away from that. And now what you're going to want to do is take all of your text and drag it above this layer, so the text pops up, but the rest of the thumbnail is in the background. So now what you're going to want to do is go ahead and add cool effects to your text. And how we're going to do this is I'm going to go ahead and go to the amazing text, which I made kind of funky, but the first thing you're going to want to do is you can add a stroke, which could complement it, but I'll come back to that later. What I'm going to do first is add a drop shadow. Now these are my drop shadows. This is probably the default one for you, but you can play around with this a bit. So you can make the size 7, so it'll add like a nice underlaying effect. And then for the distance, you're gonna add 1 or 2. 3 looks best, so I'll keep it back at 3. I shouldn't have messed with that. Now you're gonna want to take the opacity to 40, so you get a nice deeper gradient effect. Actually, we can take this to 45 even, it'll look nicer. And once you have that, you can go ahead and move to the next thing that we're gonna add. So now the outer glow is here. Now remember when we copied that color earlier, if you want to, you can just go ahead over here and click this, or you can go over here and paste the hex code that you got earlier, right? Control V, and you'll have this nice little glowing effect. What we're gonna do with this is we can drop this opacity down to 50, just so it looks nicer with this, so it complements this nice guy swimming we have in the background. And you can copy these, the Technica software, and you can move the size up bigger just to add more amplification, but I'd go back down to around 60 or 40 because that gives it the most amplitude. So now that you're here and you have 40, you can keep dragging it around just to add more effect to it. I'll put this at 30. And now that you have that done, you can go ahead and move on to the next thing we're going to add, which is a gradient overlay. And you click on gradient overlay, and now what you're going to want to do is take that primary color we copied earlier. You can also go over here and click on this as I showed earlier. So what I'm going to do is click here, or you can go ahead here and paste it. And now that you have that, you're just going to click OK as soon as you have the color copied. And you're going to want to double click on this one, and you're going to want to take it to a really nice darker blue so you can really get that nice effect. So actually I think I'll go this a little higher. Yeah, that's a nice tone right there. Right there, that's about the blue that I want. There you go. And now that you have that, you can click OK, and we have a nice gradient. Now what we're gonna add is an inner glow, and you click here, enable it. You can take the opacity up if you want, but I'd leave it around 40 or 50, and then you can turn up the size of it. But I'd recommend leaving it around 10, I'd say. That gives it a nice little edge. I don't know what to call it. But you can also add a stroke as well and make it an outside stroke, and then make this color white if you'd like, just to complement all this stuff. Or you can make it like a nice color here. Oops. Yeah, you can go ahead and click this color. You could drag it to whatever you'd like. Like if I wanted red, I'd do that, but that does not complement it at all. So I'm gonna go ahead and add a nice what is that? This right here should be nice. There you go. I'm going to go ahead and add this nice blue right here. You can see the hex code down here and copy it if you guys like. And now that you have the stroke, we should be pretty much done. Yeah. So now that you have all that done, you can click OK. And you can copy this by right-clicking here and clicking copy layer style. And you can paste this to thumbnails. You can paste this to how to. So now you have this really cool looking thing right here. I don't know what to call it. We're gonna make these two white so not everything's blue. But now what you're gonna want to do is get a cool looking icon from online. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and head over to Google Images, just .google.com, and you can search up cool YouTube button, and you come up with these cool buttons. Right here is what we can use, or you can use this, whatever you'd like. I honestly, yeah, let's just search up YouTube logo. You can look for whatever you'd like though. This one looks pretty nice, and we'll go ahead and use this one. So you're gonna want to go ahead and click right click and click save image as, and then you're gonna want to go ahead and go to your downloads and save this as YouTube icon dark or whatever you want to make it. So I'm just gonna name it YouTube icon logo. It's gonna be your PNG image, and you click save. Now you're gonna want to do the same thing we did earlier with this image. Now drag this onto your PS icon and then drop it in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and just take it like this and make it smaller, and then rotate it to the side a bit, drag it over here, and then expand it, and now you have a cool looking play button thing here. And what you can do is you can copy this layer style and paste it over here, and you're gonna have this cool little thing. But what you're gonna want to do now is you're gonna go to blending options, and you're gonna take the gradient overlay, and you're just gonna drop that opacity down so you have this nice effect on it. You could go to blending mode. You can actually probably put overlay, Yeah, there you go. Now you can put overlay on it, and now it blends in with the background. I'll put the opacity at about 50 and click OK. Move this to wherever you'd like. Here should be nice. And then I'm going to take this, drop it under the how-to right there, and then copy, click this one, and then click on the top one while holding shift, and then I'm going to move this around. So I'm going to take this and make it a lot bigger, just so it takes up more of the space on the thumbnail, because you want it to. Let's go ahead and do that. Move it over here, and then use your side arrow to just move it along. There you go. And move this down so it's near the middle. And there you go. So now that that's there, what I'm gonna go ahead and do is actually arrow it up. So up, arrow, up, 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 up. There you go. And now I'm gonna move this play button right here and move it over here. So now it's like sort of on the side, and we're not done yet though. But yeah, that looks pretty nice so far. And excuse me. Now that that's done, we're gonna want to go ahead and head back to the how-to and double click on this. Go back to the gradient overlay we did, and you're gonna want to click on this and set it to about a gray. Gray would be nice, a little lighter gray. Click OK, and you're gonna want to set this to white. So now you have this nice little white with a blue outline. And you click OK and click OK. And then now that you have that, you can just exit out of this, clicking OK. You can copy that layer style, and you can head over to was it thumbnails? No, yeah, thumbnails. Now you're gonna want to right click and then click paste layer style. So now you have this, and I'm not gonna lie, this is pretty dope. But yeah, we can add some cooler effects, like adding some cool overlays and stuff like that. So if you want, you can do that. I'll cover it in a different video with an advanced thumbnail. This is sort of a basic one. But yeah, this is just how to make really, really good thumbnails if you're a beginning YouTuber. Now, I'm going to add a couple of more things by dropping this opacity down, just so you have more, what would I say, so it complements these two more. So probably about, was it 30 earlier? I don't even know. It just looks good this way. And then I'm going to take the how-to, click on these three, and then move it around just a bit more so it's in line. Not too big, but not too small is what you want it to be. That's what she said. But yeah, move this around so it's in the right place. There, it looks pretty nice. And then we're just gonna keep moving these around just so till they're in the right spot and you know that they're amazing. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We can add some cool stuff to it if you'd like. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do here is teach you guys how to add triangles. So you're gonna want to go to custom shape tool, hold shift and then drag. It should be a preset of an arrow, and once you have this right here, you can go ahead and click back on this arrow thing, and then take this. Oh, actually first you're gonna want to right click on the shape and then click on where is this, rasterize. There you go, rasterize. And then you're gonna want to click on this selection thing, and you're gonna want to click zoom first and then zoom all the way into this triangle. Now that you're zoomed in, you can easily just cut off the part you don't want, which is this nice thing. It's actually not nice, bad rectangle looking shape thing. Whoops, alright, just do this again. There you go. Now you're gonna want to click delete, and it'll get rid of that part. Control D it, so you get, Control D is deselect by the way, and click back on this arrow thing, and now you have a nice triangle. So you're gonna want to go back to your zoom and then zoom out, and what we're gonna do is take this shape, put it in a group, and call this whatever, triangles. Oops. You're gonna want to right click on it, and then there should be a rename option. Oh no, click on it 3 times and you should be able to rename it just on the group. There you go. And then rename this to triangles. There you go. Now we have the shape in here. Just drag the shape in there if it's not already in there. Now that the shape's in there, what we're gonna do is go ahead and rotate this a bit, so that should be nice, and then move it over here, and then we're gonna duplicate this about 4 or 5 times. So 1, and then duplicate layer, 2, duplicate layer, 3, duplicate layer, 4, duplicate layer, 5. Now we have about 5 of them. You could do more if you'd like, but this is just a basic example. So you're gonna want to drag these to like spaces that you want them. So I could put like one over here, and then click the check mark, and then take another one. Oops. All right, let's undo that. Undo move. There you go. Now that's nice there. You can click on shape 4 and drag it over here. Rotate it around so it's like facing like this. Okay, right here. Shape it around like that. Move it over here. Just make it like really move around so they're not all in line. Just offset it a bit. And now that that's there, you're gonna want to click on copy 3, drag it to like over here or something, and just be really creative with this so you can just put them wherever you want. But just try to make it look like it's offsetted. So I'll put that there. Click the check mark again. Go to copy 2, drag this over here, put it like behind one of the texts like that. So it's like in the middle of them. Or you can move it actually around over here. And then click the check mark. And then go back to copy, the regular copy. Then move it like down here. And then take this random triangle, this shape one, move it all the way to the corner. And then what you're going to want to do is click this little arrow so they're all back down together. And then go to opacity and drop it down. So now you have this little cool triangles effect in your thumbnail, which I think is pretty cool. You can also control T that entire thing and move it out so that it's like spaced in the entire thumbnail like that, and then click your down arrow key so it's not touching that play button right there. I think that's pretty cool. And then click your check mark. So yeah, there you have a pretty nice looking thumbnail that didn't take too long to make. I'm assuming this is like 17 minutes, but I can't really see a timer. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this thumbnail tutorial and you guys want more videos like this, be sure to leave a suggestion down below on what you guys want to see. But if you guys did like this, remember to click the like button, comment what you guys want to see, and hit the subscribe button. This has been it for today from your boy Truth, and I'll be sure to see you guys in the next tutorial. Peace out, and remember to stay truthful.